Hello everybody, Mobius Y here with another video for Stellaris Console Edition. Now that the Megacorp DLC has been out for about a week, I do hope most everyone's been enjoying the new features that come with it. If you have not yet purchased it yourself due to uncertainty, hopefully my little videos like this one will convince you to do so. In last week's video, I went over every megastructure that's in the game from both the Megacorp and Utopia DLCs, so this week I wanted to talk about what I think is the second most influential feature from Megacorp, the Ecumenopolis. Before continuing with this video, if you'd like to see more Stellaris Console Edition content, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. The goal for 2021 is to try to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of December, but I'll need your help to do so. The best things you can do are hit that red subscribe button and share my content with any friends or colleagues who need help learning the game or those that you're trying to convince to play the game. I'm hoping my videos are both educational and entertaining enough to keep bringing in new players on Stellaris Console Edition. The Ecumenopolis, a city so large it spans across an entire planet. For any empire to transform the surface of an entire world into nothing but urban sprawl, it will take a lot of time and a lot of resources. Now, the Ecumenopolis is not strictly locked behind the Megacorp DLC. There are ways to get an Ecumenopolis in the base game. If you complete the First League precursor event chain or conquer a materialist fallen empire, you're able to secure your own Ecumenopolis. The difference with Megacorp is that now you can build your own from scratch. The first step to constructing your own Ecumenopolis is acquiring the Arcology Project Ascension perk. This perk requires you to have 2 other perks selected, meaning to get this perk you'll have to complete 3 tradition trees, and you must have researched the anti-gravity engineering technology from the engineering tree. This particular technology is the second tier of engineering technologies that increases the amount of housing provided by your city districts. The first tier technology is weather control systems, which you'll definitely need before you'll see anti-gravity engineering as an option for new research. Once you have the lone required technology, you can select the Arcology Project Ascension perk as early as your 3rd perk. The second step to constructing your own Ecumenopolis sees you turning one of your colonies into an actual city world. This step is far more time consuming than the first and requires a metric butt-ton of resources, specifically minerals. On your colony, you have to construct every possible district available as a city district and clear all tile blockers. This process will take more time depending on the size of the colony. It will still take a while on, say, a size 12 world to construct all the necessary city districts and clear the tile blockers. However, it will take twice as long to have a size 25 world construct all its city districts in preparation for the Arcology project. Remember, the bigger the world, the more Arcology districts you'll be able to construct on the Ecumenopolis, but it'll take longer to prepare that world for the Arcology project. Note that even a brand new colony can start to be converted into an Ecumenopolis. There are no required buildings or number of pops. As soon as you have colonized a world you plan to turn into an Ecumenopolis, you can begin constructing city districts and clearing tile blockers immediately to start the process. When your colony has no more districts available nor tile blockers, you can begin the Arcology project to turn your world into your own Ecumenopolis. This project costs 20,000 minerals and 200 influence to begin, and will take 10 years to complete. Remember, converting a colony into an Ecumenopolis transforms the world into a never-ending city across the entire planet, and you'll lose access to its raw resources. You won't be able to construct generator, mining, or agriculture districts on an Ecumenopolis, so you'll need other colonies in your empire to sustain an income of energy credits, minerals, and food. When the Arcology project has completed, you'll get an in-game alert notifying you that your world is now encased entirely in urban sprawl. Upon observing the surface of this world, you'll see that half of your city districts have been turned into residential Arcology districts, and that all 4 types of districts on the Ecumenopolis are very different from your standard colony. The first type of district is a residential Arcology. This adds 15 housing and 5 clerk jobs. The second district is a foundry Arcology, which adds 10 housing and 10 metallurgist jobs. The third district is an industrial Arcology, adding 10 housing and 10 artisan jobs. And finally, the 4th district is a leisure Arcology. This adds 10 housing, 5 entertainer jobs, and 5 culture worker jobs. At first glance, it's obvious that an Ecumenopolis is meant to be the home for a lot of pops in your empire, making it an ideal candidate for resettling unemployed pops from your older colonies to it in order to fill up the many jobs that will be available. It also causes organic pops in the world to grow much faster, adding a plus 50% bonus to pop growth speed. If resettlement is slow going or straight up impossible, the Ecumenopolis can grow its own pops very quickly to boost its resource production. Okay, at this point you might be asking yourself, but Moby, what could possibly be the reason to spend all this time and resources on creating an Ecumenopolis? Is even creating one as good as folks say it is? Well, my friendly Xeno scum, to the second question I say yes, and the reason why an Ecumenopolis is so powerful and desirable in the game is because it is an absolute production powerhouse. Let's take a look at a couple example Ecumenopolis worlds that I've created and started filling up with pops. So this first one is a trade-oriented Ecumenopolis. As you can see, I've built as many residential arcologies as possible for the districts, and in almost every building slot I constructed a commercial zone, and I'm currently in the process of upgrading them all to commerce megaplexes. Both the districts and the buildings are creating a metric fuckton of clerk jobs, which produce amenities and trade value. On this planet's surface screen, it might not look like there's many resources at all being generated, as it only says there's 40 unity under planet production. But if we close this screen, you can see that there is over 500 trade value being collected from this particular world. This is a pretty productive colony despite being only a size 12 planet, I must say. Since my trade policy is currently set to Marketplace of Ideas, this much trade value is producing quite a significant chunk of energy credits and unity for my empire. You may also note that despite being a size 12 world, I have 15 districts. This is because completing the expansion tradition tree and enacting the Mastery of Nature planetary decision increases the number of districts available on your colonies, including for an Ecumenopolis world. I figured that was something you'd want to keep in mind. But we're not done yet. No, not by a long shot. The next Ecumenopolis we can look at is covered entirely by industrial arcology districts and civilian industries buildings. Now you can see that I haven't even constructed every district as an industrial arcology, nor every building slot with a civilian industries building. But nonetheless, this world is producing over 3,000 consumer goods. This combination of districts and buildings has created a metric buttload of artisan jobs on this planet, and I haven't even filled them all up with pops yet, meaning that yes, there is still room for more, and this world could be producing over 4,000 consumer goods when I'm done with it. There's just that many jobs available on a size 23 planet that you've turned into an Ecumenopolis. Now let's move on to what I feel is the number one reason to create your own Ecumenopolis, and that's to crank out alloys. These next Ecumenopolis worlds were set up for alloys, and oh boy, do they generate alloys. So this first alloy Ecumenopolis is only a size 19 planet and has a lot of foundry arcology districts and alloy foundry buildings. These are creating a metric ass ton of metallurgist jobs on the planet, and together they're producing over 1,400 alloys each month. That's almost half of my current monthly income of alloys coming off a single planet. And that's not all, because I've gone and turned a second Ecumenopolis into a forge world. It is a size 21 planet which has mostly foundry arcology districts and a lot of alloy foundry buildings as well, which are creating a metric giga shitload of jobs for producing alloys. How many alloys, you ask? Well, right now there's a little over 1,350 off this planet alone, with still more room for growth as there are more metallurgist job slots still open. As you can see, any Ecumenopolis, no matter how you slice it, winds up being a total industrial powerhouse, producing hundreds, if not thousands, of resources very easily, and housing hundreds of pops to work for you. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope that those of you new to the Megacorp DLC have a clear grasp on how to create your own Ecumenopolis world, and those who do not have Megacorp yet are a lot more inclined to purchase it and try it out for yourselves. Again, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for watching today's video. If you'd like to see more Stellaris Console Edition content at a consistent rate, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. As I mentioned at the beginning, the goal for 2021 is to try to have this channel hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of December, which is a tall order, but I think we can do it together. The best things you can do are to hit that red subscribe button and share my videos with friends and colleagues who are also playing the game or might be interested in seeing what it's about before playing it for themselves. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below. You'll find one for the official Stellaris Discord channel where you can become part of the greater Stellaris community. There's a big section for us Console Edition players where you can talk about the game, ask questions, discuss strategies, and even set up multiplayer games as there's players from both platforms. You'll also find a link to my Twitch channel where I'm currently streaming Stellaris Console Edition twice a week, so give me a follow there to be notified whenever I go live. These days I'm streaming 4 times a week on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So drop by any of those days and see what I have going on live. There's also a link to my Twitter feed. Give me a follow there as I post important announcements all the time, and it's a great way to keep in touch with me. Last but not least, there's a link to my own personal Discord channel for fans of my content to freely join. It's not mandatory, but I highly recommend it, and if you want to be part of the small community events that we have going on there, that is the place to be. Thank you very much for watching my video. This is Mobius Y for Stellaris Console Edition, signing off for now, and I'll see you again soon with even more videos.